It's Wednesday, May 13th, around 6 p.m. As Washington, D.C. is closing for the night and people are sitting in traffic, the Savopoulos family, with the teenage girls away at boarding school, are trying to survive the most desperate night of their lives. It begins with a terrifying home invasion. Also inside the mansion, the family's housekeeper, Vera Figueroa. She had been with the Savopouloses since her friend and the family's other housekeeper, Nellie Gutierrez, got her the job.
You helped her work with the Savopoulos family, right?
Yes, and I took her over there. And it was like almost 5 years ago.
Longtime crime reporter Jennifer Donnellan has been covering the story for ABC affiliate WJLA.
This started out as a story about a fire, right?
Right. We're trying to figure out, did something more sinister happen before the fire?
That evening, one of the captives, Sava Savopoulos, leaves a voicemail telling Gutierrez not to come in the next day.
It's Sava. I hope you get this message. Amy is in bed sick tonight, and she was sick this afternoon, and Vera offered to stay and help her out, so she's going to stay the night here.
But Gutierrez doesn't get the message until the next day.
When I got that message on Thursday, I was thinking, and I start calling them. So I call her and I say, "Hi, Vera, what's going on?" No answer.
Vera's husband, Bernardo Alfaro, telling reporter John Gonzalez from WJLA he begins to worry at 5 o'clock Wednesday evening.
He goes home, starts calling her nonstop on her cell phone until the cell phone really stops ringing.
But at about 9 p.m., the strangest call by far. A call for a food delivery.
We can confirm that we made a delivery to the house.
Police say it's Amy Savopoulos calling Domino's Pizza. She orders 2 pies, gives a credit card number, and special instructions.
Don't ring the doorbell. I'm caring for a sick child. Just leave it on the front door.
The Domino's driver says the porch light is on, but the house is dark. As instructed, the driver leaves the pizza, rings the bell, and drives away, taking with him an opportunity to end the ordeal for the terrified people just inside.
There were things that happened that, of course, now we can look back on and say, what if?
Unbelievably, somebody in that house in these dark and brutal hours has an appetite, gobbling up most of the pepperoni pie, leaving a crust or two. Legal consultant Nancy Grace has followed this case.
To think that the killer actually ordered and ate a pizza during the middle of all this? I couldn't even eat after I heard about it. This guy's eating a pizza in the middle of it.
That night, Sava Savopoulos calls his assistant, Jordan Wallace, the man the family met at that go-kart track, making arrangements for a package to be delivered to the mansion the next morning.
Tell me about the call the assistant got.
He says he got a call from Sava Savopoulos to bring $40,000 cash to the house.
Police say that Wallace responded by text. "Got your message. I'll call once I get the package." The longest night passes on Woodland Drive. As Thursday dawns, housekeeper Vera Figueroa's husband, after working an overnight shift, finds his wife still not home. He goes to the mansion looking for her.
Knocks on the door, rings the doorbell, nothing. But it's interesting, he says, it felt to me like someone was inside.
Could he hear them?
He just says he heard like noises, like someone shuffling inside.
Just then, his phone rings. It's Sava Savopoulos inside the house. They're just a few feet apart.
He says, "Lito, I'm sorry I didn't call you last night. Vera stayed the night with us." And he said that he was apologizing profusely. So the husband, a little more satisfied with that, the fact that he's heard from someone, he goes home.
That morning, the next phase of the plan becomes apparent. Jordan Wallace meets another employee at a bank near Savopoulos' company, American Iron Works. He gets 4 neat stacks of $100 bills, 40 grand, calls his boss for further instructions.
Sava Savopoulos tells his assistant to bring the cash to his house, come into the garage, the car's unlocked.
Not to give it to him, but to put it in a car, which you would think would set off alarm bells.
And then you wonder, why didn't that person call police?
Before Wallace makes the drop, police records show he sent a text at 9 a.m. to a woman with a picture of the cash. The woman responded, "Damn, I wonder how much it is." Wallace replies, 40. Wallace heads to the Savopoulos home and drops the cash on the driver's seat of a red sports car. At 10:26 a.m., Wallace sends this text message to his boss. Package delivered. The cash is dropped, but for some reason, that doesn't stop the crime. Police say the killing begins.
We were getting source information that there was blunt force trauma to the bodies, that there were stab wounds to the bodies, that the bodies also had been tied up.
The family's terrifying final moments alive, pieced together from police documents and ABC News sources. The three adults, Sava and Amy Savopoulos and Vera Figueroa, are held in an upstairs bedroom. The women are restrained. Sava is not.
Why do you think they moved the victims upstairs?
Because they have less profile.
ABC News tracked down these blueprints of the home, which we reviewed with former FBI agent Brad Garrett.
If you left a window open, left a curtain open, you could see what's going on. If you move them up, it's more difficult to see what's going on.
The adults sustained terrible fatal wounds. They were hit and stabbed. Just days ago, police revealing a baseball bat with what appeared to be blood on it was discovered in the room. The little boy, Philip, separated from the grown-ups in another bedroom.
The son is where it appears, according to court documents, is where they set that fire. The fact that the three adults were in one room, you have to wonder how much the suspects were using that son as a point to extort them.
Once 10-year-old Philip's room is set on fire, the killers flee.
To think that a human would torture and murder a 10-year-old little boy while his mother and father sit in the next room hearing him scream in order to get money, it's heinous.
Before the fire can spread to where the adults are, the fire department gets the alarm. It's 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. The story blows up.
The case that is shaking the neighborhood to its core tonight.
The media descends on the neighborhood.
Crime scene investigators have been here all day long.
Early that afternoon, someone notices Amy Savopoulos' blue Porsche is missing from the house. Police ask the public for help, but it wasn't hard to find. Just follow the smoke. The Porsche torched in a church parking lot in Maryland.
Now, what came with that, which was critical, was surveillance video. They were able to capture video of a man exiting out of that car and leaving the scene. They immediately put that video out to the public.
Notice enhanced video shows a man carrying a white bucket. Jot that down. Back at the burned mansion, authorities are already sifting through the grisly scene, starting to ask how whoever did this got in the house in the first place.
They look for a door that has some vulnerabilities. For example, you have two French doors over here. The police are reporting that there was a French door kicked. There is a footprint on the door itself.
This is the picture. That print.
How much more difficult is it for them to try to figure this out with that house being burned so badly?
The whole reason why you set something on fire in a case like that is to get rid of evidence.
But getting rid of the evidence is not as easy as it seems. Not with the country's best crime fighters on the case.
They're going to comb through that house and try and find whatever evidence they can to close this case and to capture everyone involved.
When we come back, a microscopic clue in the strangest place. And the daring late-night manhunt and takedown. U.S. Marshals tell us they're forced to do something they've never tried before.
And he said, move, go, go, go.
Stay with us.